Yo, what's up guys? It's been a while since I've done a proper long form video, so just gonna jump right into some gameplay. This was a fun one, and it's not gonna end the way you expect. But I do owe it to you guys to kind of share my thoughts on Verdansk and Melee and where Melee fits in with Verdansk. Kind of just been making short form content, haven't really shared too much. So I'm gonna commentate through this gameplay, try to teach you guys some things, try to teach you how I'm approaching Verdansk with knife only. Maybe some tips and tricks will help you along the way. So I'm playing a solos here, and obviously if you've played any of Verdansk, you know that money is key. So right off the bat, I'm always looking for a contract. I mean, a big key to playing knife only on Verdansk is getting your loadout. I mean, that was always key in any Warzone, but it is definitely true in Verdansk. The TTK is so fast, even the ground loot weapons will tear you to pieces. So you gotta get your loadout. You gotta get that 2-hit melee knife, the gladiator knife. That's what I use. It's pretty much the only thing you really can use if you want to stay competitive. If you can even call knife only on Verdansk competitive. Right off the bat, I like to run scavenger contracts. The idea being that before I have my loadout, I don't try to avoid fights, but I don't go looking for them. I will try to avoid a fight if I know there's more than one person around, but if there's just one person, like in solos, I can usually handle a fight without my loadout, but it's definitely not ideal, so I want to get my loadout first. Okay, real quick, if you notice the slides I was doing there, basically you jump, press the left trigger, and then slide. It's called a G slide. It's a movement mechanic that was introduced with Black Ops 6. If you're holding a gun, basically you jump ADS and then slide. Your slide goes longer. And the idea behind that is, I mean, the more of a moving up and down target you are, the harder it is to hit you. And then when like rotating on foot across long distances, you can kind of jump, slide, and look a different direction, but still slide one direction, so you can kind of look around you without having to stop your movement in one direction. Just look up on YouTube the G slide, you'll figure it out. It's really easy. Looks a little weird with a melee because you actually swing when you press the left trigger, but it's very, very useful. Since we're here on the loadout, let me run through my perks and everything that I'm running when I'm playing Warzone. It's pretty simple, but I do switch things up from time to time, so it's not always going to be this. In the main slot, I run a sniper with a scope just to look down long distances. Verdansk is a really long map. If you need to kind of scope out your rotation or something off in the distance, it's a good way to do it. I have the Stinger. It's another 2-hit melee gun. I never really use it. I'm always running the gladiator knife. It's a really, really good melee weapon to use in Warzone. I do kind of switch off between using stim shots and smoke grenades. I think in solos, the smoke grenades are a lot more useful, and I use the stims for like duos and trios and all those game modes where you gotta replenish your health really quickly if there's multiple enemies around. I have been running the throwing knife over the combat axe. With the throwing knife, you can get the one shot down if you hit him in the head, and one throwing knife plus one gladiator swing is a down, which is the exact same with the combat axe. One axe and one gladiator knife swing and the enemy's down, so there's no reason to run the slower axes when the knives can actually get you a one shot and they throw faster. On the perk side of things, I'm running Mountaineer. It actually really does help in Verdansk. You'll notice a difference. I run Quartermaster to replenish my knives and throwables once they're out, and I'm still running Resolute. I think it really does help. I know the higher TTK really you don't notice it as much, but it will save you sometimes. So it's still worth running, in my opinion. And Bandolier doesn't work in Verdansk, so I run Battle Ready. Basically gives you a utility box right when you get your loadout, so you can load up on knives and plates and all that. Works great. It's really, really useful. Once I have my loadout, I go straight for a bounty contract. Sometimes in Verdansk, it can seem a little empty. You can drive around, run around, and not see anybody and not find any fights. So to alleviate that, I just grab the bounty contract and go right for them. Now, another thing I should touch on, which is the case whether you're a knifer or a red gunner, always rotate with a vehicle. You will get torn to pieces if you're just running around the map in the wide open areas of Verdansk. So you'll see me most of the game moving around in a vehicle, finding a fight, jumping out of the vehicle, getting back in the vehicle before I get shot. Vehicles are a must on Verdansk. I've kind of gone over this in previous videos. It's always been the case in every version of Warzone to like use vehicles and stuff, but it's never been more important than it is on Verdansk. Verdansk was just kind of designed a little more open than all of the other Warzone maps, which is great in my opinion. I like wider open battle royale maps. I think it just makes it feel more realistic. So I had originally checked the tunnel. I thought he might have been down there, but I'm looking for him up here. And once you see a guy wide open and you got a vehicle, it's pretty much a done deal. You just get close, do a little fake out, jump out of the vehicle. They usually are very disoriented at that time, and it's an easy kill. As I'm sure all of you know, plates are a hot commodity in Warzone, so once I get a kill, I look around for plates, try to pick any up that I can, always stay fully plated. Then it's back to the vehicle. Now immediately, I'm looking for another contract to run. I see a contract in hospital, but it has a little up indicator, meaning that it's not on the first level. So I'd have to run around hospital trying to look for it. And if you've played solos, you know that hospital is a hotbed for little corner camping Timmies. So I see another one over by train station. I know it's on the ground. I know I can drive up, pick it up, and go on from there. So with this next encounter, I kind of want to highlight what I call player profiling. I think we all kind of do it. The more you play, the better you'll get at it. And basically the gist of it is based on the player's movement actions and what he was doing, I could tell if he was a good player or a bad player, and that's how I approached the fight. Pretty much once I got the information that I got, I could tell he wasn't a great player, so I pushed a little more than I would have if he was a better player. And I'll tell you why. So at this point, I'm still not exactly sure where he's at. I pushed closer with the LTV. There's a lot of little places he can jump out, and I have a lot more protection in the LTV. But now that I see that he's probably somewhere up on this roof, so I get a little closer to see. Now, right here, boom, this is where I know. A good player would have seen someone get out of the LTV and already had high ground. They would have turned around and just lasered me. They had the high ground, they knew where I was at, they had the better positioning. This guy just chose to run. So I know he's not that good of a player. I immediately just try to push. He's trying to get away. I'm gonna push as fast as I can. Gonna switch vehicles here, try to get closer, and not let him get away. And profiling a player like that happens like second nature. It just happens so quick in the back of your mind. And then once you've done it, that's just kind of how you approach the fight. Different players require different kind of strategies. This guy is just go all out, try to catch the guy. Now he's in a faster car, so I've got like no chance of catching this guy. But I stay on his tail anyways, just hoping that he jumps out somewhere, which I think he probably will at some point, so I'm not gonna like jump out into a different vehicle. I want to keep this one close by. These are obviously the best vehicles to drive around in, the LTVs. You got the most cover. It's harder for shooters to hit inside these windows, so this is the vehicle you want to drive around in. And I got lucky here. He actually took a fight up here with this guy. He's right here in front of me. I missed that knife. I really wanted that knife to hit, but oh well. Boom. Now I got another vehicle fight on my hands. If you know me, I love leaning out of vehicles and throwing knives. So any chance I get, I try to do that. Now I heard a gunshot behind me, so I don't want to jump out and get this guy just yet. And there again, there's another sniper, so we're just sitting ducks out here. I don't want to jump out and fight this guy and get third party from the sniper. So my best bet is to try to bring him closer to somewhere where there's some cover. But I wasn't quite that lucky because he just kept on ramming into me. And the car blew up, so I had no choice. I had to jump out. Finish the job there, but I'm so scared here because of the snipers on either side of me. So really it's like a waiting game. I don't want to run out in the open. They both know I'm here. They both know there was a fight here. So I gotta wait till I hear someone get closer so I can get back to that other vehicle or go take the fight. Just one of those things, like I hate waiting in a room doing nothing, but it's one of those situations where you want to get some more information before you make a move. So that's what I did. I waited. And there it is. I hear gunshots. Go for it. And I kind of pre-aimed that knife. I knew he was heading back in there, but pretty lucky that hit. Nice little knife go there. Now I know there's still another sniper probably in this other building over here. So I'm going to take off, not be out in the open for him. What I want to do, grab another bounty contract, and hopefully find another vehicle.
I'll come along.
So I want to stop the momentum here. I want to keep going. I want to keep hunting. One thing you'll notice when you pick up a lot of bounty contracts, they're never super far away. They're always kind of close to you. And so I thought this guy would have been the sniper that was shooting at me. And I think it was, because I see him here on the roof. Try to get him a little closer. I want to get shot out there, and my vehicle is actually pretty damaged, so I don't want it to blow up. And I see another vehicle approaching, so got to be careful. When you see those LTVs rolling in, you know that's usually a good player rotating around the map. And I'm pretty sure I was right here, because that guy jumped out of the LTV and sniped my bounty, just took him out. Now, I was kind of worried that there was another guy up here, so I was just stopping to get a little more information before I headed out. Now, I decided I wanted to go out and get a closer look, so I throw a smoke up just to cover me for a little bit. I'm pretty sure that it was another sniper firing on this roof that killed him, so I don't want to be up here just waiting for that sniper to hit me too. pick up some resources, and I'm going to go down and find this other bounty contract. Now, given the location of this bounty, I think it's probably the guy that just sniped my bounty. So he's probably a decent player. I gotta approach this a little cautiously, but I'm gonna go get him anyways. I never shy away from the harder fights. I always want to take the harder fights. They're actually a lot more fun to take the hard fights than to take the easy fights. So I'm gonna go after this guy, kind of backing up because I figured he has a sniper in hand, and I don't want to get shot through the window. That'll happen with good snipers on this game. They'll get you right through the car window. They know right where to aim. Now, I'm actually happy he's in the building here. Sometimes people can be really, really ratty, but for the most part, building fights are fights that I can win. So, pretty sure he's on the roof. If I were him, I'd be on the roof too, especially if he's got that sniper that I think that he's got. Now, this is future me talking here. I thought I had this situation pretty figured out, but it turns out there was a lot more people in this area than I thought. So my bounty might not have been the sniper from earlier. Not really sure. That turned out there's a whole bunch of people here. So once I start seeing other vehicles and loadies drop in, I get in a vehicle just to be safe, just to get a scope on the area, kind of figure out exactly how many people are here. And it looks like a lot of them. Got a bounty, 2 LTVs going. Trying to figure out exactly which one is my bounty. And I see it's this guy here. He's playing the LTV and playing it pretty close, so it's that profiling again. I can tell that he's probably a decent player at best. He didn't bring a gun out and try to shoot me, so I know he's not a really, really good player who could have just headshotted me in a few shots. But I'm going to be pretty aggressive, but not jump out right away, because I know there's plenty of guys around. Little third party this fight. And as I thought, start getting shot from third parties everywhere. Roof, my vehicle's taking damage. That always sucks. You want to save your vehicles as long as you can, not take too much damage, but sometimes there's nothing you can do. But I'm pretty dead set on getting my bounty here, so I'm gonna push it no matter what. I should pop out the window. Maybe I hit him before he switches. He ends up getting out and getting run over anyways, so GG's. And like I said, my vehicle got pretty damaged here, so I'm already looking for another one to pick up. I see one on the map over here. I'm sure it's in better condition than this one. This one's like 5 or 6 shots from being blown up, so it's always good to switch vehicles when you can if you see a fresher one out there. Now immediately, looking for another bounty. There's plenty of people up. This is the guy I stole his vehicle from. He's kind of pissed, I guess. We're going to take this fight. And I tried to use the vehicle to jump through the window, but he was already there, so I wasn't fast enough. But like I said, I like taking fights inside of buildings. So once, I guess, yeah, I couldn't get high enough for that one. Didn't realize that. But yeah, once I'm inside the building, I'm pretty confident that I can win the fight as long as I can get close. This guy, definitely a building camper. Laid out all the traps. And again, that profiling. Once someone's like camped up in a building like this and not pushing you when they get damage, you know they're not a very good player. Like any good player probably wouldn't have been camping in the building like this in the first place, but they definitely would push me once they got some damage on me there. So just gotta be careful. In this game, even the really, really bad players can kill you if you're not careful enough. I mean, heck, sometimes if you are careful enough, they're still going to get the kill on you. Just the nature of this game. Makes it fun. You can never be too cocky. At any moment, you get taken out by a brand new player or a veteran. That's just the nature of this Warzone. And again, the way that I play, I don't like to just sit around for too long. I like to play very, very aggressive. And I mean, a lot of the times lately that gets me killed, but I really don't want to play any other way. So, go for another bounty. Keep it moving. Honestly, at this point, I should probably start thinking endgame and really securing a healthy LTV for endgame. But I don't really decide to do that here. I know my bounty's somewhere in this area. I know he's going to have to push in from the circle. I'm kind of circling, waiting for this guy to pop out. Kind of a patient waiting game at this point. Now, if this were a game that I was really trying hard for the win, I'd probably go around the map and find an LTV that was in better condition to kind of rotate endgame with. But I haven't died yet, so I still have my gulag. I can kind of keep pushing. Really what I'm hoping for, what I'm waiting for, is this guy to pop up off the roof and like jump and parachute and try to rotate that way. But not so lucky, somebody got him. And in the meantime, I see another LTV roll up, and it looks in better condition, so this is a fight I want to take. I want to jack this guy's car here. That's actually a pretty important fight. If I get this vehicle, that secures me for endgame pretty well, so definitely a guy I want to chase, definitely a guy that I want to kill. If you guys didn't know, you can kind of tell a vehicle's damage by any damage. They'll start to have smoke coming out of the hood, and like the more damage they get, like the more smoke you'll see. So I know this guy is not as damaged as me because I don't see any smoke coming from his vehicle, so hardly any damage there. I also got to keep in mind there's probably people rotating from the left, so I'm trying to keep an eye on that as well.
Crates have been restocked. Load up.
He's popping out. Here's my chance. And I hit him. Car to car knife throw. Always one of my favorite things to do. Sad that I didn't kill him in the first shot, but it is what it is. I didn't hit him in the head. It's my fault. Now, I'm thinking I want to get to the vehicle, but I gotta be safe here. It was, I mean, not even that far of a run. But it's endgame, people are closing in on the circle, so just need to be careful. And there we go. I'm in good shape for endgame here. I got a fresh vehicle. There's people going to be rotating in. I'm just going to try to pick off the people rotating in from downtown. Now, even though it's pretty early in the game, there's only 17 people left, so I'm already kind of thinking about endgame. I'm looking at the map, I'm seeing how many LTVs are around, and kind of trying to guess on where this end zone is going to end on the map. And from what the map was showing me, it might not be an end zone that's completely bad for me. There might be some buildings in end zone, not a complete wide open field. So I kind of take that into account, that I can possibly lose my LTV and still win the game. So I decided to do exactly what I was going to do. Gatekeep downtown and people rotating in. I know there's got to be somebody somewhere, so driving around looking for it. And just like I thought I would, someone shows up. They're trying to rotate in. They got a sniper. I got to be careful here. But I know that there's no choice. This guy has to cross. He's going to run right into me. Nothing this guy can do. I've been in that situation before. It sucks. Now, if you ever try to do this, people can outmaneuver you in an LTV. Dodge. It's so annoying. Is what it is. You gotta just take your time, put them on the back foot, and you'll get them. Now, it's kind of getting a little greedy here. Probably shouldn't have jumped out here to loot up. I almost paid for it because I started taking shots, but picked up a few good things to help with endgame. Now, Gulag's closed here. I really got to start thinking about endgame. I'm trying to think about where people are going to be, how they play solos, and I get caught up. Someone actually sees me sitting there, and they start tearing up the car. That was very unfortunate. I thought I was in a good spot, but apparently not.
10 remain. You're almost done here.
So I'm gonna do what I was doing before. Gonna drive around, see if there's a fresh vehicle. I don't think there is. I think all of these were damaged before in the other fights that I was in. But I'm gonna drive around, try to pick off a few of these remaining fights. Try to just thin the herd down, make it easier for me in the end game. Fortunate enough to have gotten one. Now, I gotta be careful here. I'm sure there's gonna be people ratting out in these buildings, but no one's in this one right now. Now at this point, I'm all ears. I'm trying to listen for info. I need to know who's around me, where people are at, if there's any fights taking place. Trying to fake someone out as if they were actually in here with me. I know I did think that I had heard someone close, so got in my vehicle. Safest thing to do until I get more info on where people are at. This car looks pretty fresh, so I switch. And it was actually fresher. Sniper lane going right for me. Wasn't sure if I could fit this through, but apparently you can. This is actually kind of funny here. That was all jacked up. I tried to finish him with the knife. I missed both of them, unfortunately. And another guy in the building. I couldn't actually, it wouldn't let me jump across. I got kind of lucky here. I finished the other guy in the hallway. But I couldn't get out and get my knives. It wouldn't let me get out. So now I do run quartermaster, so my knives will be restocked in time. So it wasn't super important to like jump back out and try to get him in there. So I figured, I know the guy's there. I know he's probably on the roof now. Let me drive around and try to find out where these other guys are. Thought somebody would be here on the hillside, probably laying in a bush or something. At least one of them, I figured, would be up here. But as it turns out, there wasn't one immediately visible. I did see the guy cross down to the gas station. Boom, there's a guy right here. It's kind of camouflaged on the rock. It was hard to see. But he's out in the open. I've got a vehicle. It's only a matter of time. Boom. That was kind of crazy. I smashed him like vertically. Pile drive right into him. Alright, there's 3 people left. I know one guy's down here in the gas station. I want to try to get this guy out first. But I think I took a little too much time fighting the other guy that he might have snuck out because I didn't see him actually anywhere here, even though I drove around for a bit. But that kind of threw me off.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
So they ended up fighting over here, and that's what really threw me off. I thought he was still at a gas station somewhere. Now it's endgame. I've got an LTV. I should win this. Even though there's another LTV there, mine's probably less damaged, or if not equal. Now there's 3 vehicles driving around. I'm kind of gonna play my distance, try to get them to fight each other if I can. See, I thought I could ram him here and like make the car run over him, but wasn't lucky enough there. Now I'm hoping this guy just gets lasered out of that car by the other guy. Pretty much here, it's just Mad Max for the finish. Here's the unfortunate part. I lose my vehicle. There's still 2 other vehicles, 2 other people in vehicles on the map. Gotta be careful here. I know I can dodge them. Gotta use this as cover. Hopefully they fight each other over there and kill each other.
Laying smoke.
Just me and him. Just gotta get him out of the vehicle here. I think I wasted my knives. But, I mean, what else was I going to do? I was going to try to hit him with the knives. Now I'm out of knives. No real time to find where they're at. Try to lay down a cluster strike just to try to get him in one area. And I think this is where I went wrong, because I ended up damaging myself. Now I'm in a very bad position. He knows I'm over here. There's not a lot of cover here. Try to get a little closer. I'm gonna use the tree as cover. He sees me. Stayed here too long. I should have made a move quicker. And that's it. That's all she wrote. I didn't act quick enough here. GG's. Anyways, guys, I hope you actually learned something from that. Tried to do my best to commentate and kind of give you guys what goes through my head while I'm playing. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this.
Done and dusted.